Today, okay, today is an English talk as well as Guru Purnima. Okay, we'll talk first little bit about Guru Purnima and then we'll go to Vedanta. Okay. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Namami Gauda Padancha Shankaram Sri Sureshwaram Swaminam Satchidanandam Indram Tam Jnana Rupine. Om Narayan Narayan Narayan. Today is Ashada Purnima, called as a Vyasa Purnima or Guru Purnima. This is the day we generally do puja of these three Jagat Gurus. One is Sri Krishna is a Jagat Guru, Vedavyasa is a second Jagat Guru, and Shankaracharya is a third Jagat Guru. And other people, other sampradayas, other than Shankara's sampradaya, probably they will keep their own Guru. But whoever it is, Guru principle is same. So Guru, the place of Guru, let us see. Let us say first to Vyasa Purnima. Vyasa, it occurs in Vishnu Dharmottara Purana. There is a Vishnu Purana, there is a Vishnu Dharmottara Purana. That is in fact like an encyclopedia of Indian Shastras. It is a huge volume. That Vishnu Dharmottara Purana, our Akhandananda Swamiji used it to say, it says one place, Vedavyasa's disciples, Jaimini, Sumantu, Paila, all these people, yeah, that's what I am telling. Guru's blessing I am invoking on you, on everybody. Okay. Guru's blessing I am invoking. So, Vedavyasa's Shishyas, like Jaimini, Sumantu, Paila, all these people, having studied Veda and Shastras under him, they were going away. And they asked that Guruji, Gurugale, when are we going to meet again? When can we have your darshan? Now we go away again, it's difficult. Then naturally when you learn from a Guru, you have that love and respect for him, and you would love to meet him again and again. So whether in those days people just to go away somewhere, meeting is very difficult, traveling also, there was no transport like modern days, no communication. So Vedavyasa told that during the rainy season begins, Chaturmasya is the time that is coming from Anadikala. So in 4 months from Ashada Purnima to Kartika Purnima, we generally stay in one place. So that is the time you can meet me in that Chaturmasya Samaya. So Ashada Purnima, you can think of me and you can come to me wherever I am. So that Ashada Purnima is the time where Shishyas go and have his darshana for darshana of Vedavyasa. So since that time this has been continuing. So we that day we worship. Now this Chaturmasya and is followed by Chaturmasya is a vrata followed by both Gruhasthas as well as Sannyasis. Okay, so for Gruhasthas, Chaturmasya begins on Ashada Shuddha Ekadashi. From Ekadashi it begins. So on Purnima, their Chaturmasya of Sannyasis begin. Sannyasis Chaturmasya begins on Purnima, like today. For the Gruhasthas, it begins on Ekadashi day. So their vrata, both of them follow. They follow their own niyamas. Sannyasi generally travels, is supposed to travel, not stick to one place. But during Chaturmasya, because of the rainy season, he remains in one place. And that is opportunity for other Gruhasthas to learn some Upadesha, Veda, and they will serve him and also learn some Adhyatmika sadhana. So other than that, they learn, he does them teaching generally in Chaturmasya. Lot of teaching is going on In many places you can see all sadhus in ashramas, they remain in one place. They take up various books and keep teaching. In fact, it is like a small Gurukula for all Grihasthas, 4 months Gurukula. Okay, traditionally you can say, because other time in those days in agriculture days, people would become busy with agriculture work. But these 4 months during rainy season, daytime work and evening come back. So that time these other Grihasthas will serve them and also will learn something from them. So with from sannyasis particularly. Okay. So if you want to learn from sannyasis, Chaturmasya was the best time. So they will teach them something, their own Adhyatmika Vishaya. The Grihasthas, wherever they are, they learn for this 4 months. Once the 4 months over, rainy season goes away, and then people just to travel. So that's a different issue. So Grihasthas also follow Chaturmasya. Because of the rainy season, climate is dull, digestion changes, climate changes. Therefore, certain foods were also recommended. You are supposed to avoid certain food. From the standpoint of Ayurveda, certain foods you are supposed to avoid. Therefore, generally Grihasthas follow this thing. So I think, I don't remember, if you read Dharma Sindhu, Nirnaya Sindhu, the book I left it there. I think not necessary, so I left it. I'll tell in the evening Bhagavata Pravachana what that the Grihasthas niyama of Chaturmasya niyama. I'll bring that Dharma Sindhu and teach in the Bhagavata Pravachana. This Pravachana I only say briefly, that this much alone. So they avoid certain food. They are not supposed to eat certain food as a vrata. For sannyasi, Vedavyasa Puja, Sri Krishna Puja and our Guru Puja, they do it. After doing the puja, every day they do the puja. All these 4 months, they keep them. Some people keep them. Some people first day they do it and then they do Visarjana. Every day you are supposed to remember those Gurus. Now the place of Guru, I tell you. The Guru, when you do any karma, any Shastriya karma, or any karma for that matter, any good karma, Upasana, Bhakti, Adhyatmika Sadhana, or even Brahmajnana. Okay. In all these things, Guru is always required to guide us. Guiding means 2 levels. One is to teach you the procedure of doing it, a karma or a meditation, upasana or jnana. In karma, he has to teach us that the procedure of the karma, the ingredients and how to do. In upasana, the method of doing upasana, he has to teach us. In jnana, he has to give that scholarship, Vedanta, Upanishads or whatever grantha you study, he has to give you that the grantha knowledge of the text. Other than simple informative knowledge, okay, other than simple informative knowledge, he has to give, other than simply informative knowledge, he has to infuse with Shraddha and Bhakti. Okay, that is most important. Guru not only teaches you the procedure of doing karma, but also how to have the faith in it, how to have the Shraddha, how to have the Bhakti, with what feeling, with what discipline. 2 things. Personal discipline you have to follow, and the procedure of karma you have to learn. So the procedure of karma from the Shastra he teaches us. Along with that, he gives us the discipline, personal discipline, certain values, Satya, Ahimsa, qualities, both physical discipline and mental qualities, mental discipline, these 2. Then Shraddha Bhakti we have to retain. So Guru is an Anusandhana Karta. He connects us with Devata, with God, because Guru himself followed that from his Guru, and he knows how to pray, how to do meditation, how to do puja, how to do aradhana of his Guru, and that he teaches us. Along with the procedure and ingredients, he teaches us how to do the feelings also, the discipline also, the qualities of mind and intellect, that also he teaches. Therefore, Guru is most important in Indian culture for every, even for Laukika karma, Shastriya karma, even for meditation. Therefore, we remember again and again Guru, because Guru is a continuous source of inspiration. If you are doing some puja, some sadhana, some meditation, or even Vedanta Vichara, Guru is at least advanced than us. Some Gurus are really Nishtas, Siddha Purusha. If you have got a Siddha Guru, we are really lucky. Or at least more advanced sadhaka than us. Definitely his feelings, his bhakti, his bhavana, his shraddha, his understanding is better than us. Therefore, that helps us. If we live with him, if we think of him with love and respect, his heart will inspire us, will infuse us with shraddha and bhakti. will teach us the proper way, will inspire us in developing self-control also. Because the values of Satyam, Ahimsa, Brahmacharya, these values are also important. Putting the Shraddha Bhakti also important. All these things Guru will inspire us continuously. Therefore, he is a source of inspiration. He is a source of encouragement. Therefore, we always remember. Otherwise, the worldly things encourage us to the worldly knowledge and worldly discipline, raga, dvesha, kopa, all negative qualities. The worldly life, worldly relationship pull us towards the negative qualities. We tend to lose these qualities. But Guru means always where Guru symbolizes Shraddha, Bhakti, Jnanam, Sadgunas, and also Satya, Ahimsa, self-control, and all these things. So purity of the mind and all. So therefore, he is a continuous source of inspiration. Not only that, he connects us with Ishvara. In your Upasana, in your Sadhana, he connects us with Ishvara. In Upasana also, not only he teaches the method of Upasana, he gives you Diksha. Diksha means what? Each time we need, again and again when we are doing Upasana, we always need continuous inspiration, continuously stay in that mood of Shraddha, stay in the mood of Bhakti Bhavana when we are doing Upasana. To stay in that mood of Shraddha and Bhakti continuously, we need Guru's inspiration, remembering Guru and thinking of Guru and also offering our Shraddha Bhakti to him. Okay, in Jnanam, not only he teaches the intellectual knowledge, but that Prakriya he gives you, that Antarmukhata, that way of looking it. In Prakriya, from his Anubhava, that how he is free from time and space, how he is free from that Pramatru Drishti, Anubhava Drishti he has, that Anubhava Drishti he gives you again and again at every step in your Vedanta Prakriya. Otherwise, you get the words, you get the logical meaning in it, but that Anubhava Drishti, you always miss it. You are likely to miss it. So it is a Guru's job that in Jnanakanda, he, while teaching, he adds his Anubhava Drishti, then every sentence comes live. Every sentence directly touches our heart. If you pay attention to him, the way he teaches, he infuses that Anubhava Drishti. In Upasana ki Bhakti Drishti. In Karma, also that Shraddha, the procedure, the discipline. So in all places, Guru is required. Therefore, we take him, we invoke his blessing. So in Chaturmasya, this is the thing. Okay, so such Gurus. Sri Krishna, here when we do puja in sannyasis method of puja, how Grihasthas do, I don't remember, I don't know, because I was a too small boy, what they do I didn't remember. But only as a sannyasi I remember, because so many years passed as a sannyasi alone. So I remember sannyasi's way of puja. So one is the Krishna Panchakam, Sri Krishna in the center, and around 4, Vasudeva, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Sankarshana. Then Vyasa Panchakam, Veda Vyasa, then his Paila, Sumantu, Jaimini, and these people, all his 4 disciples. Then Shankara Panchakam, Acharya Panchakam, Padmapada, Hasta, Malaka, Sureshwara, and these people. And also Ashtadikpalaka, etc. Then Guru Parampara, all your Guru Parampara from Narayanam, Padmabhavam, Vasishtam, from Narayana onwards, Brahmadeva, and also all our Guru, until your Guru, whoever is Guru, your Guru, don't underestimate, your Guru is great for you as my Guru is great for me. So for our own Gurus, everybody is really Sakshat Paramatma only, whoever is your Guru. So this we do puja, we do avahana, and also puja akshata, because that is where that you receive his blessing and his inspiration continuously with us, so that we will not fall into that lower level, we will remain in that sadhana and move ahead and ahead. So that Guru's blessing we invoke. Now regarding the Krishna, here when we use the Sri Krishna Panchakam, Vasudeva, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, they are Sri Krishna's Vyuha. Vyuha means another avatar, another Rupa. Sri Krishna's another Rupas, Vasudeva, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Sankarshana is Balarama. They are Sri Krishna's Vyuha Rupas, not disciples. Okay, they are not disciples. But if you look at the disciple, if you see the various Puranas, I am not able to recall all his disciples. I remember 2 disciples mainly, Sri Krishna's disciple. One is Arjuna, another is Uddhava. Sri Krishna taught Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, therefore Arjuna is his disciple. And Sanjaya also heard it. Sanjaya taught to whom? Dhritarashtra, and through Sanjaya, Vedavyasa also recorded it and it came down to us. Then Uddhava Gita, in his last days, at the time of Upasamhara of his avatara, Sri Krishna taught Uddhava his teaching. Therefore, that is called Uddhava Gita, which occurs in 11th skanda, Ekadasha skanda of Bhagavata. Okay, so in that Ekadasha skanda of Bhagavata, Uddhava Gita is there. Along with that, there was a Maitreya Rishi was also present. Maitreya also heard that entire Uddhava Gita, and Uddhava later goes and lives in Badrinath. So whoever goes to Badrinath, they all receive the blessing of Uddhava, because Uddhava lives in Badrinath. And then later, Maitreya goes and teaches Vidura, and through Vidura it came down to society, to everybody it came down to us. Therefore, Sri Krishna teaches Gita two places. One is Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna and Uddhava Gita to Uddhava. And also if you search the Puranas and Mahabharata, certain other places also Sri Krishna taught. We can see them in Jnana Shishyas. Shishyas of Jnana, you can find them. So here, Sri Krishna is a Jagadguru, and then Vedavyasa, and then Shankaracharya for our Shankara tradition. For other people, for their own traditional Guru, Ramanuja, Madhva, their own Guru. But whoever is their Guru, see them with all respect and with all Shraddha and Bhakti, and we worship them. But I feel personally, Ramanuja Madhva followers also can worship Shankara, because in the tradition, Shankara was in the chronological period, Shankara was senior, and then later Ramanuja, and later Madhva. And then those who are following Ramanuja's tradition, Ramanuja Ukta sadhana start by Ramanuja, sadhana start by Madhva, Ramanuja sadhana start by Nimbarka, Vallabha, Chaitanya. All these sadhanas are already part of Upanishads and Purana, and Shankara also taught all of them. All this Shravana, Bhakti, Namasmarana, Saligrama Puja, all these things, whatever we have them, all of them Shankara also taught. Therefore, if followers of Madhva and Ramanuja also take Shankara as a part of their Guru Sampradaya, I feel nothing wrong in it, because Shankara never condemned it. What Ramanuja, Madhva, Nimbarka, Vallabha Sampradayas taught, all those sadhanas, we reinstate, we accept them, we never condemn them. We in fact encourage them to follow their sadhanas. All that is perfectly right, and they can continue. Therefore, if they can take Shankara also as their Guru, in addition to Ramanuja, Madhva, nothing wrong in it. In fact, I feel that is a better. They can take Shankara, and also Ramanuja or Madhva or Nimbarka, Vallabha, they can retain. So, because Shankara always infuses them, reinforces them, encourages them, blesses them, it will continue. So that let Guru's blessing be on us and inspire us, and we shall continue. I thought of 10 minutes, but I took 17 and half. 18 minutes I took. So this separately I am recording in YouTube. I'll close this and then continue Sugama. Okay.